Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. Slightly emotional dragon here, and welcome to Delta.app One Hub Racing. Welcome to the beginning of the season, and welcome to the man who's done double duties and probably has just witnessed me crying. Hello, Bonnie.
Good afternoon, Evil. Congratulations on your
Yeah,
maiden win.
I
One
shall
Hub
try.
Racing.
I shall try not to cry again. It may have happened finally after a while, 9 years of waiting, of trying to win a race. It finally happened, and I can just say, Mason is beautiful, and he's very quick. However, we've got 14 drivers on circuit for P3 tier, the tier I was, let's just say, demoted from because I was too slow. Got a feeling this I might get put back in here potentially.
Wow, how often did that happen in season 28? People getting up and down, left, right, and centre. Could happen any time in the season, but it is only round one.
Yes, indeed. Well, we have cars on circuit, and my former teammate has gone fastest. My not former teammate is not fastest. It's currently Mikey 146.1 on the board. I'm sure the times will start falling. Now, I set a 146.6 for my one and only lap I managed to do in the session earlier on. So let's see how quicker these drivers go. Mikey, like I said, 146.1. And again, he's a man who odds-on favourite for this title, it seems.
Yes, I believe he will be. Yes, I think him, Cam, and do need to keep a lookout for Joel Flats as well because he looked very quick in the pre-season race in Japan. I think the pole position time for Tier 4 was a 146.0 set by J.R. Mason.
Yeah, Mason was on fire in qualifying earlier on. I think it was over half a second quicker than anybody else. But qualifying is one thing. Racing certainly is another. So you can be quick at quali, you might not have the pace in the race, and that's quite a common trend to see. I mean, it depends how you set the car up. Is it set for quali? Is it set for the race?
And then you've got to know absolutely where you're going to deploy the battery, put it to the different settings that you want for the lap that you're on. It's a massive thing this season, with the battery management and how the drivers are going to deploy it and when not to deploy it.
No, well,
Plus, we've
Bonnie.
got Joel.
Yeah, Joel goes quickest. And Bonnie, well, you know very well how the battery management is because you told me the battery management, and well, it went quite well. It turns out. Not saying I'm excusing you for my first ever victory. I might be saying that.
Well, I think honestly, I believe that we want all the drivers to improve, so we have good racing. We don't want drivers that are miles ahead in the distance and then other drivers not being able to catch up. We want all the drivers to get better as the season goes on from season to season. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it's certainly going to be one thing to see what they can do, but a few people on a lap time. Storm, who said he can set a 145 in practice in earlier on in the session. Currently not on a lap time because he's invalidated. He's got a 148.0. Rookie, we'll call him Farookie. I think that's how you pronounce his name, actually. To start his lap time, I believe he saved a lot of battery up, so he'll go for another push. Let's right on board with him, then down into the source. Chuck it down here. You want about 90% of the ERS here. Now you want to use quite a little bit down here, and then you want to put it back to none ever so slightly as you rise over the compression of L Rouge and Radion. Up you go. He's used a bit too much of it, and that's not going to help his lap time.
No, unfortunately, no. It's just gone. It's very strange to see that up for Eau Rouge. It usually feels a lot of the time like it's quite straight, but if you do get it wrong on the first turn, you can lose the position of the car. And it can send you wide either left or right, but it's unusual up Eau Rouge. The drivers usually have that penciled in exactly how they're going to take that corner.
Yeah, indeed. Down into Piron as we ride on board of Whopping Proverb. it's a really difficult corner to actually get it right, it turns out. Because, I mean, as you were saying to me, if you run ERS ever so slightly more, you're not going to run it. If you run it on none down into there, down the hill, you will make it flat easily, and you can gain a lot of time from it.
Yeah, and I think another thing as well with it is, even though it's such a near enough straight line, it's so important that you are close to the curbs, left, right, and then when you come again out to it to the left, because it can slow you down even with the slightest nudge to either too far left or right going through Eau Rouge. It's actually a quite technical corner more than people think.
Yeah, indeed. Whopping Proverb down into the bus stop chicane. Right, then left. It used to be, of course, left, right, and left again back before 2006. Proverb up to the line. Not a representative time, I think, so far from him. 47.8 on the board. A lot of time still to find from these drivers, I feel. Quinn on and out that. My former co-com from P4, I must say. He's a good commentator, isn't he? You commentated him earlier.
Quinn, yeah, he helps you along, Quinn, if you're trying to do lead comms for the first time ever, and he does support you. It was really good commentating with Quinn today, and enjoyed it.
Yeah, he's definitely growing. He's getting better all the time, and like I said, we do love all our comms doing well. And don't forget, by the way, P2 tier on in a little bit. I believe that is Mike, and who is it with him?
Joe?
Is it Joe? I think it's Joe. Let's have a look. I would have a look, but for some reason my PC's just crashed slightly. Come on. No, it's gone. Excellent. It'll load. There we go. It's loaded. Mike and Shabado. I think that's Joe. And then, of course, P1 later on is, of course, Colin, standing in for Jessica, and the ever-present Jamie as well. Of course, the P4 champion from last season. We are just currently looking to see who is doing what on lap times, but we're looking at Quinn right now. And let's go on board of him and see how we do down here. He's used a little bit too much ERS up the hill here, in my opinion, and now you kind of got to make a choice. Do you burn all of it right now and then be in trouble later on? You want to get around about down to just under 20% and then save a little bit and then put it into none around pretty much the rest of this section, isn't it?
Yes, but you can find that if you time it right, you can near enough all your battery into Sector 2, but you still need to have the power going down into the corners and coming out of them. So it's a do or you don't, really, with the battery. You can choose not to use it through Sector 2, in which case you might be a bit slow off the pace, but you'll have so much battery for the third sector as you go through Blanchimont. So it's really how the drivers want to do it, offset.
Oh, I thought for a second. Yeah, it is an offset. I mean, that was something that definitely seemed to be the case in the qualifying earlier. I was using a lot of it down in Sector 1 and Sector 3 and harvesting it in Sector 2. And it was like almost an offset of I was up by 1.5 in the first sector on Mason, down by 1.5 in the middle, and then kind of matching in the middle. He's getting a lovely little slight toe from his teammate there of the other Williams driver. I presume that would be Storm. Yes, it is Storm, just indeed in front of him. Down into Blanchimont. He's running right out of VRS, and he might get away with it here, but he'll lose probably a two maybe 3 attempts there.
He could well do. If he can make a good entry exit through the bus stop, he might get away with this.
Up to the line, 46.6 puts him P6 on the grid so far, just behind Gaz and just ahead of Joe. As we look see who on a lap time now. Gap Reaper on a lap time, and he is very much burning all of the ERS down the straight, and he's going. Let's see what the sector time is. Might be surprised if this goes purple down here. And 31.4, but the game doesn't always tell us when purple sectors pop up. But pushing on very hard now, of course, like I said, save a little bit. You can use a little bit of medium out of what is no name, can't you?
You can indeed, yeah. Just looking at that first sector time, at 31.4, it's quite respectable, that. So even though he's lost all his battery in sector 1, it's quite a good first sector, but can he bring it all back in sector 2? He's using quite a lot just before P1. Oh,
yeah, he kept it on circuit. But that's the second time I've seen it. Well, a few times you've seen it today. And if you use too much ERS straight out the corner, you come into that corner with a lot more speed than I think you realise, don't you?
You do. It feels like if you're either using the battery or even if you go into gear 8, it becomes very difficult to negotiate that corner.
Yeah, now look what's
A lot of the
happened.
drivers.
And Gat Reaper, now he's in trouble. Look at the speed bleeding off. And you can hit up to 200 miles an hour down into this braking zone, by the way. So that kind of shows he's losing around about 18 miles an hour upwards there. And that just shows how much the battery management is going to be around this circuit. Crispy 7.
Quite good. It's a good. So considering how much battery he didn't have in the third sector, I think it's quite a respectable lap time for Gat Reaper.
Yeah, and I've got to put I can't remember what the word is, but a word on Ivor Mike. Now, he is having an issue. Thank you, Rydog, by the way, in chat, for congratulating me. He's got a bit of an issue, hasn't he? His will has decided to unalive itself at the worst opportunity, aka about 1 hour before the race. So, I'm going to give him a very big benefit of the doubt, because I got to feel he might be struggling here.
I think Storr might have gone off very wide there. He's missing enough his entire front wing.
Has he?
Is he missing his wing?
No, he's not.
Oh, sorry, apologies.
It's easy to do.
I saw the 50 metre board just go flying in front of him, and I generally thought he'd lost all his wing.
Well, he's invalidated his lap time as who was that off? There we go. Gat Reaper off the road. I'm trying to go for it, and the game's like, no, we're not going to go in and see the car. A little bit glitchy. Let's see. Mike starting his lap time. Then up El Ridge he goes, and you can see there you go. Comes off the ERS here, and he'll get back on it around about now, right at the top. But he's quite a lot of it up right now, so he can't really boost the ERS. And 215 miles an hour. That's the maximum speed I've seen down at the Camel Straight. That's 200 miles an hour. Purple Sector 1 low. However, again, we'll preference it. Game's slightly inaccurate sometimes, and that isn't it.
It doesn't like showing us accurate sectors. It just seems to show a purple when the car is going around the track at the moment. But it was still a pretty good first sector from Ivor. Seeing what more he can do is going through pool now.
Down a gear, down a second gear, up again. So you can just see how he's having to acclimatise. And hopefully as he comes into the race, he should pick up speed quite quickly. As he comes down under the hill and chuck it to the double right-hander of Stavolo 1 and Stavolo 2. I'm pretty certain it's Paul Ferrer, I think one of them. But I've always known it as Stavolo 1 and 2 because that's what Murray Walker used to say. And again, no ERS down the straight. Might be able to get a cheeky slipstream. No, the Cadillac, I believe that gets well out of the way. What's happened there? Who's that off the road? Someone.
It's
very off the road. Well, I mean, getting out of the way, and Mike's saying, I'm not doing this lap. It's not going to be representative. Comes straight in the pit lane. Fair enough on him. Storm is out in the pit lane, I believe.
I think he's tried to put a couple of laps together. Maybe he's potentially ran out of tyres, maybe.
Oh, yeah, we've all, to be fair, 1 minute left to go, actually. I've just noticed that. So, for the very few times, it actually popped up for a brief second on the top left for me of how much minutes we go. There we go, 1 minute 24. So, a few people on lap times. Richelieu on a lap time. Marcel on a lap time. Farrouk on a lap time as well.
Mikey might just be starting his last lap. Yes, he is.
Alex saying he can't keep it into 7th, down into Blanchimont. It's a difficult corner. 7th gear. Some people like 6th. Some people can do 7th. Fenrickler sliding ever so slightly on the rear end, but he's got away with it. Who is going to be across the line first out of these guys? It's Farouk, I believe.
He seems to be. He's 4.8 seconds off the minute. I think could well be Richelieu. I think Joel and Cam are currently on outlets, and they'll make it just. Yeah, I think it's Richelieu that's going to be first cross line on a flying lap. What's Farouk doing?
No, Farouk. Yeah, Farouk and then Richelieu. I believe it looks like. So, actually, no, Farouk's not on a push lap. Actually, you're right. I've missed that. 47.2, a 10.5, but don't start. So, yeah, Mike, a little bit struggling there. Oh, that's invalid at the last corner. You don't want to do that. And that is ruined his lap time. Where would this have put him on the grid? 46.5. P5-ish across the line there. So let's see who's next to cross the line. This is always the entertaining bit for us.
Gaza.
Let's go up to Gaza Man through the last corner. 3 attempts down as I cut to him. Let's see low. Ideas for a 46.2 he wants to do, and 66,000th off of it says no. Doesn't quite do it. Did say a purple sector there. Ferrari crossing the line, or is it Mark Crawford? Mark Crawford across the line. 45.9. Behind him, the Ferrari of Mikey, 45.2. And that is an ominously quick lap time from the Ferrari driver who, quote unquote, said he was struggling. Quinn is invalidated his lap time. Marshall goes P10. Farouk will be the last to cross the line. Where's my former teammate doing? Mr. Kamikam. Let's see what he can do. Saves as much ERS. He won about 80% coming out of this corner, which he's about 75%, so he's got enough of it. 7 attempts down low, so he's going to need an almighty last sector here, and I don't think that's going to happen.
I think Joe might have gone again, but I think he's used a little bit too much battery on in the third sector. He may be coming across the line again.
Let's see, well, Joe's was coming through the last corner, so up the line. It was 4 attempts up on his lap time, so a 46.2, I reckon. 46.4. Cam across the line. Does he improve? He did improve by a lot on the last sector, but not enough to make net gain. Through the last corner comes Farouk. Let's see what he can do. And I believe one car behind him that's coming into pit lane. Farouk up to the line. 47.666. The eye of the devil. So according to my telemetry, I would have qualified around about P10 here. Mason would have qualified P4.
Yes, he would.
It just really shows how close these grids actually are, doesn't it?
And it shows how important it is in the qualifying week that everybody does try and genuinely do the best that they possibly can to make sure the tiers are as competitive as they possibly can be.
Yeah, and it's a good point someone just mentioned in the chat. 1.4 seconds between first and fourth, and yeah, you gotta. It was a fairer last week in the pre-season event. Mike was very quick, and getting here today, pole position 3 attempts ahead of Joe, so it's not as big as a gap as it was in P4. But then, of course, first, second, third then have got the gap. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, all close together. 10th, 11th close together for Ruckler. Did not seem to get a lap time. Whopping Proverb as well, and Mike, of course, invalidated his lap time, but was on course for around about P10. But of course, we know how quick he can be on his day. But that is qualifying done now. Before we forget, and you know what time it is because I always put you on the spot. I'm going to put you on the spot.
No problem. So it's time to do our sponsors and partners for the day. So first up, we've got our title sponsor for the league, Delta.app. And must make everyone aware that this is for 18s and over. So if you're not 18, don't download the app. It's for all your investments in one app. Make smarter decisions like the world's top investors. Track your journey to success with Delta. If you use the command !Delta in the Twitch chat, you'll be able to click the link and you'll be able to track all your investments. Next up, one of our sponsors is Next Level Racing, and they sponsor the league by providing some great prizes each season. Not too sure what the prize will be so far, but we will look to confirm them in the future. Next up is Sim Racing Setups. They provide pro setup bundles for the DLC, created by the top esports drivers. They have dry, intermediate and wet setups, and they also have 2 types of dry setups, safe and esports. They also provide strategy tips and a track map for when you use the ARS during qualifying. They sponsor the league by providing vouchers for the weekly Driver of the Day winners and Driver of the Season. Obviously for the drivers there with the most Driver of the Days. If you use the code 100 Racing, you can also get 5% off their setups. Next up for us is Pure Simgate, and they sponsor the league by providing sim racing socks and gloves to the driver with the most fastest laps and poles throughout the course of the season. You can also use the code OHR10P at the checkout to get 10% off their racing socks and gloves. Next up is one of our sponsors is Vespertine, and they support the league by providing their official merchandise and provide some great prizes for the league. And last but not least, we have SimGrid, and they are an essential part of the league as they provide us with all the drivers, tracks, standings throughout the season, and any information you may need to know about the league. And that's all of our sponsors, Evil.
Yeah, indeed it was. Sorry if you heard me giggle slightly in the background. I saw a car fly nearly upside down into turn one. As you can imagine, when you see someone flying backwards at max speed into T1, it's
hilarious.
Yeah, it
shouldn't be hilarious. It shouldn't be hilarious. It's good to be just a game because it wouldn't be hilarious otherwise. But I was saying this the other week as well, enjoying Japan. I saw it on the game where somebody managed to flip one of the cars over the barrier. It is possible.
Yeah, it is possible. You can have some big accident on this game as well. I've seen it. Gazman's disconnected, so someone can maybe get him in, actually. I'm pretty certain I have Gazman on my friends list. However, he'll get back in for the next session anyway, because, of course, red flag, of course, so we can get the grid set up. Congratulations, Joel Flats, for the victory. There, as you can see, the only man to finish the race. Mike P2, Cam P3. Mike saying he needs some inspiration. There's your inspiration. You finished P2 in this. Smiley face. That's what we'll put there.
You never know what's going to happen in the race, Ivo. Just concentrate on your battery. You never know what's going to happen in the race.
Yeah,
keep it between the lines.
Battery management key, and of course staying on track limits. It seemed I don't know how many people went off track in P4. I didn't see many penalties.
Oh, there was unfortunately quite a number of penalties.
Right.
The place where it seemed to be happening often was Puon.
Yeah, I went off there a few times. I only got one warning despite going off there 4 times, but I think it might have been because the other times I went off I was off very slowly. So you can get away with it, but like I say, it's a difficult thing to do, and it's a really easy corner to get it wrong, because you come into there, and this is something you mentioned, I think, earlier on whilst we were practicing, is you're going to come in there thinking you can do it at the speed you can in qualifying, to only realise very suddenly you can't, and then you're bing bong bang penalty.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't get a penalty and you go off wide at Puon, you're easily losing 5/10 to maybe even more than a second if you're going off at that car. So it is unadvisable, and like I said about the speed going into it, the drivers have got to be very careful in the race, because there's a lot of the drivers that I would expect not to go through there flat out, but if they can, have at it. But it wouldn't be advisable to go through there flat out through Puon. I mean, I guess some drivers will. Some drivers will.
Yeah, you can do it. It's just you've got to get the line absolutely perfect. I mean, it was difficult I don't know if anyone did it in P4, but it was really hard to go through into there as well. I mean, like I said, a few times Mason and me were battling side by side nearly down into there, and I can tell you it's a pretty scary corner to go side by side. So let's see how that one. But again, as I always say, Mason is probably he's a really good racer. So I can only give hats off to him, because that was... I don't know how it looks on stream, but it was awesome.
Me and Quinn did have a bit of our hearts in mouths when you and Mason decided to go through Puon side by side. It's not a place you usually see it happen, but it was... you were...
Respect, isn't it, really?
Very, very respectful and clean with each other going through that corner together. It was quite impressive.
Yeah, there was a few times down the straight, we got so close to touching. One time he did slightly touch, and I was like wobbling down the straight, but I think Mason realised it and pulled right very quickly and lifted. So it's again the contact model on this game. It's still to be desired for. It's not like the likes of Gran Turismo, where you can have contact without spinning into a barrier at Mach 7 sometimes. But it's kind of something that I think needs work on. But I digress.
Well, we saw. There was I hope, touch wood, there's not going to be any major comings together in this race. But we didn't get any safety cars or VSCs in the first race. It was very clean racing. So let's hope we get same sort of driving in Tier 3.
Yeah,
Last season
indeed.
it was very much like that in Tier 3 last season. The best, it was the least VSCs and safety cars in season 28, I believe.
I can't remember who won last season. I think I was commentating as well. Was I? No. I commentated too many races last season. It's hard to remember.
I think predominantly Lawrence was commentating for Tier 3 into season 28, along with multiple
Assistants.
Yes.
And occasionally me tedding. Which happened occasionally, but yeah, it's always nice, Lauren, and have a nice stable partner in you, because we get along quite well. It seems in commentary, we can bounce off each other.
I think it makes things a heck of a lot easier when you're doing your commentating if you can easily get along with the co-comms.
Yeah.
It needs more consistency. Having different commentators every single week doesn't help, and I'm hoping that we will be able to find a permanent comms for Tier 4 going forward in the season.
We blessed don't want you ruining your voice every week, because someone who has done in 1 week triple comms actually, and it was your quad comm nearly that one time. That really hurt that day, but still the show must go on, and as I say, I'd rather stream than have a voice. Richard saying could have been P6, didn't validate the last corner. Yeah, he was on for P6 there as well. And now, strategy rise. This is going to be the interesting thing. Medium, hard, I found worked extremely well earlier on. Medium, hard, medium is an alternative thing. These soft tyres are not very good, as we found out.
Yeah, I did see that one of our new drivers for the league, Truth, went with the softs at the end of the race in Tier 4. And even though it was a low fuel mode, those softs were gone after 4 laps.
Yeah.
It would appear he dropped off quite a lot in the last lap compared to you and J.R. Mason. So take the softs it would seem at your peril.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a safety car towards the end of the race, I mean, you can imagine everyone's going on the soft tyres. But again, at the same time, if you go on set of mediums, almost can be just as quick, because it depends on how many laps there is left. I mean, if it's 4 and you're on a set of mediums, you can come back at them.
Yeah, I mean, we say it quite a lot. It is genuinely dependent on not so much the battery, but how well the drivers are at keeping their tyres. Because if there are many. I've driven with near enough all the drivers that are here in Tier 3, and they are all good drivers and know how to manage their tyres. So I expect quite a lot of the drivers to be running possibly 2 sets of mediums and a hard.
Yes, certainly indeed. We'll be given the ready up message, I believe, in a few moments' time. From Mikey, something that jump scared me a little bit in P4 because Jamie didn't give the countdown, so I wasn't looking. I was looking at the chat and was like, "Oh, we're counting down, 5 seconds to go. Jump in." But Mikey typing the chat, so I imagine in just a second time we'll be underway for the Belgium Grand Prix and Spa-Francorchamps, of course. Clear skies as the weather gods provided by the spinny wheel of fortune, or unfortunate if it was wet. But Spa in the wet, it's always a difficult circuit. We're readying up low.
I mean, in the wet, there's so many gravel traps at most of the cars this track. In the wet, if you were going off, it would have taken you quite a while to get back onto the track in the wet and then get the car to speed again.
As it's a valid thing. Here we go in just a few seconds time. I give it about 5 seconds and we should be underway then here in Belgium. Look, but never stare, because the 5 lights, are you ready? because we are going Spa. Good start from Mikey. What about Joe coming to the outside then? Down towards turn 1. Are we going to get it through clean into T number 1? 3 abreast in the background. One bit of debris flying in the sky, so it looks like there's a bit of contact in the background. One of the Hasses going ever so slightly wide. But Mikey's had a terrible start out of El Rouge. Down 1-2 positions. You now rise the crest then. Up the top then, down towards Rally, into the Camel Straight. And here comes the Ferrari then, back round the outside. Can he get onto towards Joe then, down the straight? I don't think so right now. ERS burning for all of the drivers. In terms of the tyre strategy though, as you can see, a lot of people on the set of softs. Joe B off the circuit down in towards Lecombe then, as we sliver our way then down the hill then for the first time. But it's Joe leading Mikey from Cam then in the other Red Bull. Mark Crawford in 4th, Joe in 5th, Gaz 6th, Storm on the set of hards down in 7th. Makler 8th as he battles away then down the hill. A bit of a kerfuffle going on down there. I think they've all sorted each other out side by side down the hill, as one car's got a lot of damage on that car. Is that one of the Racing Bulls? I think it is.
I was just looking at the start as well. Joel seems to have got the jump on.
Oh, contact. And that is Gap Reaper off the road. That's a reset. Now, I'm not sure how to do that. I don't know if that's still a rule against that. It used to be. Farouk also off the road, but he has lost that front wing. So the two Hasses in trouble, and it wasn't the two Hasses that collided. It was the Hass and looked like it was it Mike they collided with? I think it is Mike who's lost his front wing. So it's gone bad to us.
Mike is right on the back of Joe going through the bus stop chicane. And we did mention about the tyres. 4 drivers have gone onto the softs at the start of the race, and that's, I think, why Joe's maybe got the jump on Mikey. Mikey's going out on the mediums.
Yeah, absolutely, you're correct there. I mean, to see anyone dive into the pit lane. The Hass at the back dives straight in. Mike stays out. He's kind of got to at this point and just try and stretch these tyres and then get a new front wing later on. But I think this might be the move for the lead of the race. Look at Joel, no ERS. Look at Mikey, 30% ERS. Here we go then. They'll be taking candy from a baby. And already, these soft tyres, as we presume, will start to struggle here. It's you get about 4 laps in, that's about 40%, around 6 laps, and you're up into the 70s plus. So they drop off very quickly, and as you mentioned to me before the stream, around about 50% on the mediums and softs, that's when they hit the, what very much is the cliff. If you remember Kimi Raikkonen, 2012 China, just imagine that, you kind of drop off very rapidly.
Yeah, and sometimes forget as well, off the start as well, your tyres are wearing a lot faster off the starts than they do at the end, obviously because of the high fuel load. But you're fighting with each other so much at the start of the race that all of the tyres will be maybe a minus 1 to 2 lap delta, which I expect a lot of the drivers to be coming in maybe lap 3 or 4.
Yeah, lap 6 or 7 apparently, according to the game. It thinks you can pit. Now, that's definitely not correct. As I mean, they will stretch him out to lap 6 and 7. They can do it. It's just, how much time do you gain / lose by doing that? Because around lap 6, 7 for the mediums, ideally you're going to start pondering to come in. It's only a 22 lap race here.
Got the 2 McLarens together going bus stop chicane, fighting with each other, Gazza and Joe.
Yeah, indeed. Gazza, of course, a great friend of mine, and we do love seeing Gazza do very well indeed. He was the commentator back a long time ago as well, and a very good commentator is that. Chucks it down towards turn 1, late on the brakes. Slight sideways on the exit, but he survives, and he's going to get passed by his team here. And very reminiscent of what you see in real life. Just blast down the hill straight past. But look at Gaz, he's saving his ERS, and he'll try and probably come straight back here, won't he? Yeah, look at this.
Got to be careful of Mark behind him. He was close up to him by a second, up to Eau Rouge.
Yeah, Mikey leads this race still then, 0.3 of a second. He can kind of right now just manage his pace ever so slightly and try and stretch these tyres around about lap 9, potentially, if you want to stretch them that far. I wouldn't recommend it. It's probably around about lap 7 and 8, like, isn't it?
I would expect the mediums to be anywhere between lap 6 and 9. I think if they go to lap 9 on those mediums, they're going to be struggling quite a bit. But he's in the best. He's got past right at the start of the lap past Joe. And it's the best part of the track to save the battery and keep the other driver behind you through sector 2. Yeah,
certainly indeed. Let's just scroll through the field to see what battles are going on. As we scroll to the back, we got the 2 Hasses, of course. Like we said, had issues earlier on in the race, both of them having damage, both of them have repaired that damage, but definitely are going to hope for an incident later on for the safety car. But everyone really being quite cautious in terms of passing and not trying to have contact, and it's something that I feared, and I mentioned it before, like the closing speed. I'm surprised no one's had an off because of it. I say that Quinn's lost his front wing end plate, it looks like. Big damage on the front right of that. So he's had a whack on someone. So he'll stay out and just hold station right now. Storm and Mike, and we got yellow flags, and that is ritually off the road. Now, how has that happened? I imagine... Oi! Keeps it out on the wall.
I think he's touched the grass on the far side coming into the bus stop, and a little bit of a touch of the grass there, and it can send you around or even stop the car. So I think it's just gone a bit too wide going into the bus stop.
Meanwhile, look at this, 3 wide McLaren Red Bull. The McLaren's come ahead of the Red Bull, so that's Cam battling with Joe and Gazza. And Gazza, go on Gaz Sunshine, you won P3. That'll be a momentous day. Always love a Gazza podium. Hope I haven't just put the curse on that. Now, as we well know, I do that very oftenly.
Yeah, well, we'll try. Hopefully that will happen today. But as we were saying before about these softs, the 3 laps in, Joel's losing a lot of ground to Mikey, and Cam's just been passed by the 2 McLarens. Yeah,
1.7 seconds now. Last lap it was about 4 tenths, so they're probably hitting around about 50%, I reckon, right now.
They will be between 40 and 50%. Yeah, it'll be hard for the cars to maintain the traction, especially around the first corner and the bus stop chicane. Now I would expect.
Yeah, indeed.
Maybe not too bad in sector 2.
Yeah, let's see. Now he might come straight in the pit lane now, and if you come in now, set of hard compound tyres, 12 laps ish, and then set on mediums to the end. That is a possibility.
I mean, I'm just thinking, if they've gone onto the softs, will they have the 2 hards available? Won't they suspect so?
That's a good point.
It'll be a hard and medium.
Yeah, so medium right at the end of the race and a nice long set of hards. In comes Cam. Now let's see if my prediction is correct. Maybe he's listening to us. Instead of hard compound tyres or a set of mediums, so this indicates a soft medium, which is again possible. You can stretch these tyres out a little bit. In comes Quinneth as well, and that's going to be a new nose for the Williams, you would imagine. No, he isn't going to change that wing, so I presumed he would. In comes Mike.
Well, the McLarens are at it again, down the Kemmel.
Yeah, they are, and that was Joe now ahead of Gazza. So these 2 McLarens battling hammer and tongue. Just behind him the Audi, and of course, by the way, as mentioned, if you watch the stream later on, all camera angles are different on the T-Cam to replicate more what they are in real life. So as you can see, the McLaren's got a very different perspective to the Audi. Not as bad as it was in last year's game, where the Sauber had a horrifically wide camera. But I had to replicate it, so anytime you was on board with that, it was like looking at every bit of circuit. But anyway, these 2 battling together. Joe expecting in the pit lane this lap. Look at the gap. He's lost another, is that 1.5 seconds this lap?
Yeah, this is helping Joel, even with him staying out on those sides. 2 McLaren. Oh,
Crawford disconnection. That was a big lag spike on the game there. And I think is Joel Flat's also disconnected. Let's see if you can you can grab them as Joe gets out of the way of his teammate. Yeah, he's definitely disconnected as Joel.
Okay. There's one for Joel and Mark as well.
Yeah, Mark definitely disconnected. So
okay, I'll send them 2-1 and see if we can get them back in as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark invisible as well. So that, I don't know what's caused that. That was did it lag on your end as well? Really suddenly?
I didn't see anything. No, it didn't look like anything changed on my side, but something has definitely obviously happened to Mark and Joel. So hopefully we can get them back in as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Meanwhile, up the hill, here comes the 2 McLarens battling together, and both of them being respectful, just not really battling each other too heavily. It's safe to say. As there goes Joe. Past Joe. That's going to be a difficult turn. So as in goes Gazza through him. And that's a shame. But he's still, if he can get back in, it's not cost him too much, has it?
No, it shouldn't. It seems like the AI is actually fighting quite hard for Joel.
Oh, yellows, what's
So
happened? Who is that who's gone off? Or is that Mark Crawford's AI going slow? Or what's caused the yellow there?
I'm just having a look. They still greyed out at the moment, unfortunately. It seems to be causing a little bit of havoc for the other drivers with the AIs. They're not sure. They're trying to work out how fast they're actually going. They're actually going quite slow up to them, and it's causing a few problems.
Yeah.
I've sent some invites to them both, trying desperately to get them back in.
Yeah, I have just informed them we have sent an invite, so hopefully we can get Crawford back in to this session, as well as Joe Flat. So whatever has happened there. Mikey B, meanwhile, 7.2 seconds in the lead as he comes in for his first of 2 stops. And that's, what do you reckon, hards or mediums again?
I probably think it will be mediums, but I could
It's a
be
medium.
wrong. It's a medium, yeah. It's the medium hard.
Yeah, so not trying the tyre offset. I suppose for Mikey, he doesn't really need to, does he?
No. And the chip. I wonder whether. Oh, Mark's come back in. That's brilliant.
There we go. We got Mark back in, and it shouldn't have cost him too much. He's behind Storm. He's going to be behind Mikey, so it's still a possibility if we get a late race safety car to come back into this race, and albeit safety cars didn't happen in P4. Let's hope they don't happen in P3, but it would all be nice to get the field close back up towards the end of the race. Here comes Reaper on Cam out of the pit lane. They go up the hill, and let's see, Cam is probably saving a bit of battery. No, he's not, both on 0. Down the straight there. And as you mentioned earlier on, big lock up from the Haas there, Lou. Battery management here is key.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, if it's particularly important going up to Eau Rouge and Radion and going down the back straight, as we know. If you find yourself halfway down the Kemmel with no battery, then you will get another car just literally beaming past you, and you won't have any defence at all.
Certainly will indeed. Gaz leads this race then. That number 7 of 22 in what has been a little bit of a topsy-turvy race with a few disconnects, but I believe we got them all back in. Crawford is in and off, might I say. So he was hit, and now he's off the road. Joel Flat still isn't. Yeah, hopefully he can get back in eventually, as Mike gets a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Everyone else seems to be okay in the session. Gaz, I imagine, in the pit lane this lap. Yes, he is. Don't hit that pit wall, which I have the unfortunate knowledge of seeing people hit that pit wall before in commentary. Set of mediums for the McLaren. In he comes then. Nice short stop. 2.8 seconds around about sometimes, but I think it'll probably been 1.8 normally. Will rejoin behind his teammate, comfortably ahead of the rest of the pack.
It's not the nicest pit lane in the world. I think it might, hopefully not. It didn't happen in Tier 4, but there could be a couple of drivers that may potentially have an accident going into that pit lane.
Yeah, it is always a pit lane. Very easy to make a mistake. Gap Reaper and Cam battling together still down the straight. Lovely overhead camera shot as he come down the straight then. Popping out the slipstream ever so slightly, but I don't think he's going to be doing that down into that corner. In terms of what tyres, you can see right there, in terms of penalties, only one penalty, that for Mike earlier on, 3 seconds on that one, so we'll keep the tyre graph up for the time being. As talking of Mike, he's just been passed by the recovering Mark Crawford in this race, who has finally stopped. So I imagine what's happened is those mediums have got a little bit overheated and he's spun earlier on.
And I was just looking at it. We've still got 2 drivers that have yet to make the first stop, with it being Jason in first and Gap Reaper in fourth at the present time.
Yeah, well, here's Mikey, though, to snatch the lead away and hold back a little bit. You don't need to push too hard. Now use a bit of boost on the exit to get past Storm, who, to be fair, is trying to battle still, so he's not giving up this one. Round the outside then. And I think Mikey right now is just going to be a little bit circumspect about trying to pass him. He's got a nice big gap behind, albeit Cam is closing up pretty quickly, and Storm, he's got his entire right to stay out as long as he wants. I reckon down into Lecombe. He's going to try a dive up here. I reckon down into Lecombe. Yeah, he is. Save the battery. This is where I had a little bit of a spin earlier on, and then it's again really easy to miscommunicate. Oh, like that.
That was close.
And that is, I imagine, yeah, Storm ran out of battery right there, and that's the sudden closing speed. That can be very scary.
Yeah, you find yourself some maybe losing a wing, or unfortunately in some cases losing a wheel. And we might see instances where that might happen this season. Hopefully not in this race, but it could happen as the season goes on.
Up the inside of Reaper, and they're going to get through nice. Yep, they do. And just looking at the batteries here, and you can just see how much people are using it. Gaza here saving quite a lot, so he's definitely saving it for the straights, and he's probably using none down these corners, I imagine, as you can just see. He might use a little bit here for a cheeky dive up the inside of Gap Reaper, but Gap saved quite a lot of battery as well, so... and you can see Reaper burning a lot of his battery down here, and that's all just going to cost you in a couple of 100 metres, isn't it?
Absolutely. I'm just thinking that with Mikey as well, because he was behind Storm as well going into the start of this lap, he's gained the boost, and I think he's not doing anything
Joel
at all
asking
yet.
for an invite, if you can invite him quickly.
Yep.
We're on it, Joel.
To find him, but he was offline. There he is. Come on, Joel, get you back in.
Might have been an internet issue then, potentially a bit more than that one, so we'll get you back in, Sunshine. You can keep racing on. You are currently P10, but still going. Quinn gets our second time penalty of this afternoon, a 3 second for him. Storm stays out and probably will go to, I reckon, lap 12 and then medium to the end as Cam battles away then with the McLaren. You can just see all of a sudden the gap up front is closed down a little bit.
We've got 4 drivers quite close together.
Oh, contact! Cam in, that's into the wall, and what on earth has happened there?
Oh, it just looked like they just collided. We're both, I think, Cam, it's either Joe or Cam, one of them has lost the rear end and gone into the other. Maybe they've accelerated a little bit too quick, one of them's lost it and bumped into the other, but they both got front wing damage, and I expect them to be coming into the pits the next lap.
Yeah, indeed, I reckon so. Cam's lost the entire end plate, and what rotten luck Cam's been having in recent races. He can't seem to catch a break, can he? And that's another issue for him. Off the road again, and he's got real damage there, and that's pretty much scuppered his race now. He is on a set of mediums, so he can go on a set of hards to the end now, if he wants to. It's not ideal. He wants to be careful here. He'll probably get out of the way of Marshall, I think, is probably a wise hit. Indeed, he does. It's big damage, and that's a shame, because he was running well. I cut just on board to it, just as it happened, so I didn't catch it, but it almost looked like... It almost was like Joe just kind of didn't see him.
Well, they were going over the start-finish, so it wasn't directly after the bus stop chicane. So it is strange. They were very close together. It didn't look like either of them reared into each other. It's like one of them just lost the back end.
Yeah. Joel says his internet isn't working, so he can't get back into the session, which is a shame. So hopefully, my friend, you can get that fixed for next week. But yeah, up front, Mikey dominating this race really here. And you say that Gazzo's he's holding him still, actually, isn't it? Gaz not dropping back too far. He got Reaper in the pit lane. That's for his first stop of this afternoon. Not his second, technically, hasn't it?
It's for Gap Reaper. That's Reaper's first stop.
Is it? It looked like it's only on that. That's weird. No, I think the telemetry might have glitched out ever so slightly there, because it says he's done one less lap than he should have. Seems like a local issue. Mark disconnected as well. Okay, so it seems like something's gone on in the area for those two. I think Mark is in this race still. So
yeah,
well.
Storm definitely hasn't pitted at all yet. He's still Jason. Apologies. He's still on his first stint. So I'm not maybe Jason.
Set of mediums has to be.
With 10, 11 laps to go. Apologies. Could be a medium soft.
It could be. It could be medium as well. I mean, 6x. I mean, it works quite well. If he comes in this lap, if he doesn't, then I guess it'll set a soft. Might be an opportunity right at the end of this race, but he's only going to start losing time any round now. But Gazza's not closing as quick as I presumed right now, but McLaren definitely on for second position at least. Further back, of course, Joe could be under investigation potentially by the steward. I didn't really catch what happened. I can only say that there was definitely an almighty shunt down the start-finish straight, and I admit, very lucky it didn't end in tears. They were almost 3 wide out of there, Storm 3 second-time penalties, so I'm not quite sure what happened, but Charlie Storm in the pit lane this lap. Yep, he does. Comes into the pit lane, gets it nice and slowed down. Drops it down to, I think it's about 40 miles an hour, 48 miles an hour into the pit lane. One of the slowest pit lanes on the calendar, it feels like. It does seem to go on forever, but you do, of course, cut in towards turn number 1, so you can get a pretty good exit. And he comes down and should rejoin. Joe has left the session, so yeah, he's not having much luck. So let's see, he'll come up behind his teammate. I thought this is looking like a pretty good race so far, isn't it, for Storm?
It is indeed, but I've just noticed who's completely under the radar is Marshall. He's up in third at the moment. He's on the same stops as one stop the same as Mikey and Gaza, and he's in third with 5 lap old hards at the moment.
Yeah, he's just put his head down and got on with it, hasn't he? And the strategy's worked quite well. And I must say, like the top 2, they are pulling away a little bit right now, 10 seconds. But Marshall on those set of hards, they are going to be slower than the mediums for now, but they do come back into their own later on in the stint. Meanwhile, further back down the field, battle going on between the Cadillac and the Red Bull, and that's Richelieu and Cam, who's got all that new nose on. Back out on circuit and trying to recover this one. Top 12, of course, score points, if I'm not mistaken, here in one hub, so needs to get on a little bit of a move.
Cam's going to need to get moving, but I think he's going to be in a tricky spot come the end of this race with those hard tyres being pretty old compared. But if he can get on, move on now, the other drivers have got to make another stop, so he still might find that Cam might be in this at the end of the race.
Yeah, it's always a possibility. Meanwhile, Joel asking Cam one more invite to see if he can get back in.
Absolutely.
I tell you what, Storm is driving really well right now. Of course, he's having some issues in real life. Mikey's pitted finally, and that's how hard to the end of the race. But Storm, he's having some epilepsy issues in real life, as he's been saying. So he seems to be on the mend, which is always good to see, because we don't like seeing people in pain, do we?
No, absolutely not. No, and hopefully it can keep him as the penalties at the moment. Oh, it's 3 drivers at the moment. Yeah, it's Jason, Quinn, and Ivo with 3 seconds each currently.
Yeah. Up the hill they go, and again, let's see. Quinn he's running a good P5 right now, and I mean, these guys stop, but and Mikey stopped, by the way, has come out from P1 to P2. If that doesn't show you how quick he has been this afternoon, that definitely shows it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I'm just looking at his battery man as well. He's just gone past the first sector and he's got 80% of battery halfway through the second. So he's doing a really good job of battery managing his batteries. He just looks in the zone, Mike at the moment.
Yeah, you kind of get into that. I was members of what Lewis Hamilton was Spain a couple of years ago. He said he just zoned into it and didn't even realise until it was the end of the race how it was. And I mean, Lewis Hamilton won in a Ferrari at Spain recently. He's always been pretty decent there. Mikey in a Ferrari at Belgium, number 21. Let's see what he can do. Not quite the number 27, matching Gilles Villeneuve, but the 27 is taken in F1, I think. So I don't think you can run it if you wanted to.
Just watching Gat Reaper closing very quickly on Sequin. They're just about to go through Blanchimont. He's
no battery low.
Used his back. I just think he's closing up quickly, and then Sequin just scuppered off into the distance because he's kept some of his battery back.
Yeah, it's something that it's gonna see as Marshall pitched in laps. That's an early pit stop. That's set of mediums to the end. Or another set of hards, mediums to the end. Surely that's weird.
Yeah, that's a long way to take on. So say it's a long way. It's 8 laps. It's touch and go for Marshall with the mediums. They will go, but he might be struggling with maybe 2 laps to go.
Yeah,
down those mediums.
I would have personally stretched the hards out for another lap or two and then gone, of course, straight to the end. But alas, not to be.
Just looking, there's quite a few drivers yet to make their second stop.
Gaza yet to do his stop. Storm, Quinn, Reaper, Mark, Mike. Joe has, Marshall has Cam, as you can see on the screen. Richelieu has yet, and of course that is the rest that have stopped. Now, good news, everyone. Joe Flats has got back into the session. He is, however, last, but I mean, you can just kind of use it as a test session now. Anything can still happen in this race. So late safety car, always possible. I tell you, no one else is doing well. Bonnie Gaz on his ERS as well. He's boosting it now down the straight, but he did save about 90% beforewards.
He's got a good... I mean, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to challenge Mikey, but he has got a good cushion to Jason, and down to 7th, and here he comes, yes, and all the ones down to 7 to Ivo, all yet to make a stop. So Gaz is in a brilliant position here to get P2 at the end of this race. Touch wood.
Yeah, touch wood. Don't curse him, like I tend to do. Oh, there we go. I was like, no, don't curse him. He's stuck in the pit lane. There he goes, back on circuit. Game giving us a little bit of a moment. Storm will take up P2 in this race. Is he? Where's he going to come out here? Gaz is going to come out in an awful situation with traffic here. This is almost Mark Webber situation here, but I think straight down the speed as Gap Reaper says, I'm going past. And now watch this. This is going to be Gazza up the hill. I reckon he can get both of these cars if he's saved his battery and wants to use it right now. Or is he going to play the long game, wait for these guys to battle and pick up the pieces? He's going to pick up the pieces, I see then. So, playing the long game, isn't he?
He is, yeah. I just don't think at this point in time there's no need for him to get involved in a scuffle and potentially get a wing damage here. In the position that Gaz is in, he'll know that the two drivers in front, he might know that the two drivers in front haven't yet stopped. So I don't think he's going to get embroiled in a fight with Sequin and Gat Reaper here. And
these two are really going at it. Up the inside, down into Puon. Easy does it. He's going to go deep, going to get a penalty for that, I imagine. Or definitely a warning. And watch here now comes. Out the outside, as Quinn see him, gives him a bit of a squeeze. Contact. Ooh. And no damage, I think. He's got away with it. Tries to go around the outside. Quinn holding his line, but finally relinquishes that one. But just look what that did to the time there. And Quinn, they're battling so hard, but he has saved a lot of his ERS there. So he's trying to battle away with Gap Reaper. And now all of a sudden, Gaz has now got to try and pass Gap Reaper. Gap's got no ERS. Gaz has not got a lot of ERS. Behind him, Quinn's got all of the ERS. Now we're going to see a dive into the bus stop. I won't do it right now. Big lock-up for the Haas, who's going to come into the pit lane. Is he going to hit the pit wall? That was very aggressive in the pit lane. He's got away with it.
And yeah, Gaz, I mean, it might have been in the middle of the two of them there, Gazza, but by doing what he's did and staying behind Gat Reaper, he's got the extra boost power for the next lap.
That's a good point there as well. He's done that quite well. Can go chase on Storm, who is, I'll tell you what, keeping on it. He's looking for at least a P5, I think, right now on road. If he sets a set of softs, he can go to around about lap 19. Set of softs will go to the end easily. But what he doesn't want to do is suddenly get caught out with a sudden safety car and get stuck. Joel's first lap of the race, 1:48.3 for him. So he's pushing. Has done his 2 stops. Can go to the end of the race as Richelieu has just been passed there by Mark Crawford as we'll go to the intervals again. Yeah, we'll get.
It's a shame for Joe, wasn't it? It's what could have been. We can see there how much pace Joe's got, and we're hoping that he can get that sorted for the season going on, because we know that from the pre-season Japan and today, we know that Joe's got pace. So it's a shame as to what happened with the disconnect.
Biggest gains and losers in this race. Biggest gain outside of Storm, who's yet to come in the pit lane. That is going to be Marshall, up 6 positions. Biggest loser. Ignoring Joel because he disconnected. I suppose really we can't. I've got to say ignoring. Contact there, and that is Quinn and Reaper have just come together. Have they got damage again? I think they've got away with it.
Quinn has. He has got. He's missing his right end plate.
Has he? I think he kept that low from earlier on because he didn't change his wing and he
Oh, he
had
didn't.
damage.
Apologies. Yeah, he didn't change it, which is
Side by side down towards Blanchimont. That's going to be brave. And camera angle's going to work with us. And you've got to have two very drivers very much respectful here. And Gap, I think, backs out of that one because I think a bit of boosting down the straight there was Quinn down into the braking zone. These two are catching to Cam, who has got himself back into this race. Set of hards. Can go to the end of the race, but he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars right behind him. And his hard compound tyres definitely are going to be slightly older than that one. Well, I was going to say biggest loser in this race, it's really Cam, really, I suppose, isn't it? Who's the biggest loser, apart from Mark and Joe, who disconnected.
Yeah, I mean, Cam and Joe have lost 1 pace off the start. And that's quite astonishing considering what unfortunately happened to Joe and Cam, where they collided with each other. So it's a good recovery.
Yep, Quinn to the back of Cam ever so slightly there, and Quinn, he was very frustrated last week at Suzuka. He said he felt he could get a podium out of it and was involved in incidents and accidents, and he's hoping to be up there, up the sharp end of the grid, but right now down in P7 so far. And don't forget, by the way, we've got to ponder our driver of the day in just a few moments' time. And I tell you what, side by side down here, be careful you don't touch wheels. He's backed out of it. Has he? Just about backed out of it. And going up the inside down into the Fania area, it's not easy. I will admit that one. It normally ends up in contact.
I mean, one driver can be a bit out of sorts, and the other driver can be in such a rhythm. They just close up so quickly. There's not much. I mean, you can brake, but there's not many places to go if you get caught behind another driver going through that section.
Yeah, Mark Crawford, meanwhile, is called up to the back of... so that's Reaper catching up to Mark Crawford. On the outside, just trying to keep up who's doing what right now. We've got a battle here
Joe,
between...
Yeah.
As in the pit then comes Storm. He's gone for a set of softs. That's a little bit early, in my opinion. Marshall has just been catched by Joe. Quinn just passing Cam around the outside. I'm trying to keep up what's action here. And look out the pit lane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. It's going to be side by side down a rouge here nearly, is it not? Cam Lowe, he's got no ERS left. He's about to be the sitting target down this straight. And this is what happens when you don't use the ERS. Anybody careful here, boys? Side by side freeway. Oh, they come down the straight. And I don't think Storm saw that coming there down the straight. And he's going to be a little bit told off, I think, for that one.
Yeah, Cam got himself such an entangle having no battery that everybody else was trying to dive around and still colliding with each other.
Yeah, still colliding with each other here as Storm fighting through his worst, but I think that was that Reaper who got put on the grass. He is not going to be at all amused about that one because he was shoved onto that one. I can't go around the outside of Quinn, who's going to hold station there, but I think Storm might be in a bit of trouble for that.
It could well be, yeah. I mean,
look at that! More contact down the straight. More contact, and what is going on here, boys?
I think these two are getting a bit too feisty with each other.
Oh, off the road, Mark Crawford as well, off the road. And it's all going wrong here, all of a sudden, on that 18. And there's been about 5 collisions in the space of a lap. I think these drivers need to calm down, don't they?
Yes, they do. And with all this going on, we've kind of lost sight of what our race leader's doing at the front. Yeah,
he's having a bit of a chill right now. It's something I wish I could have had in P4. I can tell you what, it very much wasn't. That was hectic. Oh, more front wings flying up there in the background. As just stay safe, boys. Don't have any contact. I tell you what. Oh, a bit of a mistake there, and that's interesting. And that's Storm dropping back. And I mean, I'll tell you what, that's pretty respectful, actually, all things considered, isn't it?
And he's got wing damage.
Has he got wing damage as well?
Yeah, front left.
No, he broke out of turn 1 and let everyone through. So that one, meanwhile, down the straight, here comes...
Cat Reaper's gone round.
Oh, it's a bit hectic here. What is going on here? I'm trying to keep up with the action going down the field. Everything's going up the field. There's battles everywhere. Reaper's just getting passed by everyone there. I didn't see what happened.
He's just lost control right at the end of. I do apologise. On the back straight down the camel straight, and he's just took it too fast, and he's gone into the gravel.
Jake
There's no contact with anybody.
Jake has just brought up a good point, by the way. Does Richelieu know he's has to stop one more time? He's only done one stop. On lap 19 of 22. He can't stop, of course, on the last lap, so he's got to just be a little bit careful here. He doesn't end up overdoing it. Meanwhile, he's a race leader. There he is. There's second position, by the way. Equally got a massive gap. Then we've got Marshall and Joe battling together, and Joe, of course, has got a bit of pace. Marshall, though, has saved all of his ERS. He's kind of doing what I was doing. He's just going to use it when to defend.
Yeah, I've been watching Marshall and Joe the last couple of laps, and Joe's been closing in on Marshall going through Blanchimont, and Marshall's just had so much more battery, and Joe just keeps running out, just trying to keep up with him and trying to look for a move on him, but Marshall's battery has been between 60-80% going into the bus stop chicane every lap, last couple of laps.
Cam, this is going to be a bit close. The two Williams go side by side. Cam nearly got involved as well. He was trying to pass the pair of them, and now all of a sudden, contact up the hill, and oh no! Oh, how have they survived? How that did not pirouette into the wall, I do not know.
It's getting incredibly fast in the midfield. It's been going on since the incident with Cap Reaper and Storm, and it hasn't stopped.
Yeah, stuff. I don't think Storm had any ERS up the hill. I think that's what happened, and that's what we were fearing was going to happen in these races. No ERS up the hill. Quinn was suddenly pushing. It was behind Storm. Storm had no ERS up the hill. Straight into the back of him, and boom, they both go off nearly.
It's been last couple of laps in the middle of everywhere on the track between these four.
Storm trying, but again backs out of it. Richelieu's in trouble. He needs to pit this lap, I think, otherwise he's going to be in big trouble, isn't he?
He is.
Just showing off up front, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just thought, I'm not going to say what he may have been thinking of. He's done the quicker, fastest lap of the race.
What was the word beginning with F? Maybe.
Was that? I'm saying nothing.
He's saying nothing. We know what you were about to say.
No.
He's going balls to the walls. We'll just say that one up front. He is pushing extremely hard. Gaz in second, Marshall in third, still holding on ahead of Joe, who has got no ERS up the hill. And what? This is now going to be the thing. So Marshall now will just waltz off into the distance. He'll probably gain like 7 tenths here. Meanwhile, Kamzat got into P5. Quinn and Storm. Has Richelieu finally stopped? Yes, he has. So lap 21, he stopped. So it's an interesting strategy. It's not worked. Here comes Quinn on Cam at the inside. Jake saying he's remembered. Yes, he has. And I tell you what, I've got my idea of driver of the day. There's 3 drivers I think that I've got driver of the day votes, and we're going to go vote for 2 of them. It's going to be Kroll.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is. Yeah, I mean, just looking at the battle between Marshall and Joe. Joe, if you can, Marshall's battery is very high again going into the last sector of the lap again. He's nearly 100%.
Yeah, he's doing extremely well here in the Audi, 100% battery. I think you've seen this on before. An Audi followed by a McLaren, both of them battling a VRS. It's déjà vu. It's a coincidence. I think not.
Well, he's done exactly what he needs to do, Marshall. He's just saving it for the last lap. I don't think Joe's going to be able to find any way to get currently a way to get past Marshall going to the last lap. There's a lot going on in the midfield.
Yeah, we got that battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. They've not given up on it. I think Storm's tyres might have just finally given the ghost a little bit here because he's starting to drop back a little bit here. But 7th position for Storm, who's said he was going to be last. It's not gone too bad, but he has been involved in a fair few bit of incidents in the race. I tell you what, Mike as well, fair play to him for being on a pad. He's currently P10 as Farouk Passes up the inside. That's Whopping Proverb going up the inside. My apologies. Behind them, there is Mike, the Audi of Mark Crawford. Reaper, Joe, who's caught up to the back of these guys. So, I tell you what, it's not over. Joe can still get a few positions out of this one. But, meanwhile, up front, look at these top two. Oh, very, very, very much pissing away. Joe's not got any ERS to really battle. It's really going to be a battle here. And here comes Joe Flat. He's got one car. Storm 3-second time penalty. There's another maybe 1 or 2 positions that he potentially can get, Joe. He's going to need it to go his way, though. And we know he's quick.
Yeah, we do. We know, the tyres are very similar. He's got the oldest tyres out of the drivers from, but that doesn't mean if he can save his battery going down into the last sector lap, he could maybe make up 2 positions.
Meanwhile,
come the end of the race.
To cut over you, here comes Mikey then through the last corner. Start pretty much to finish is dominated here in Spa. Will win the Belgium Grand Prix in storming fashion then. Behind him as well, 12 seconds away, here comes Gaza. And what a result this is going to be for the man up the line then. Go on, Gaza, my dear boy. Up to the line. P2 then for him. That's going to be a lovely result for him. And Marshall just, I think, is going to hold on to it. Both of them on red battery, though. They're not going to run out of fuel, are they? No, they're not. Marshall third then. A brilliant result. Joe fourth. Cam up the inside as Quinn tried to dive. Didn't work. Fifth for Cam. Sixth for Quinn. Up to the line will come Storm. Is he going to drop down behind Farouk and Whopping Proverb? I think he will. Is he going to drop behind Mike? No, he won't. So, and Joel Flats gets 10th in the end. Mike 11th. Crawford 12th. Reaper 13th. And we're just waiting for the Cadillac at the back of the grid.
Well, that was an entertaining race. Halfway through the race, with Storm, Cam and Quineth and Gat Reaper, it was non-stop. Couldn't even get to the other drivers. What was going on?
Yeah, that was... congratulations, Mike. There you go. You got points. Some very angry people in the P3 chat there. That was a bit of contact. Williams Civil War, I'm hearing. Yes, I think there might be some Williams Civil War. But there we go. Mikey, is this going to be the last race we see of him here at the top? 10 to 15 seconds up the road? Is he going to get moved up, I wonder?
I wouldn't like to say. That will have to go to... I don't want to say. That'll have to go to the... I don't think it will. No, I think, it's the start of the season. We'll have to see what happens with that. It was a comfortable race, but there was a lot of battling going on behind.
I guess if he wins by 15, 20 seconds, then you might have a bit of a thing. But driver of the day. Right. I am going to give it to Gaz, the P2 man. And my question is to Gaz, my dear friend. P2 on the grid from P6 at the start. How did you find that one at the end? And were you expecting to be in such a comfortable P2 there? Congratulations, Lo.
Okay, and... yeah, I'm going to give it to Marshall for my driver of the day. That's Marshall's great result today. You seem to have adapted really well to the new regs. How have you been fighting through the race, and were you quite comfortable coming through the field as you did to get onto the podium? Oh, wow, there's a lot going on in that race today.
It was. Well, I think we shall round it off with a quick rundown of our sponsorship.
Absolutely. Bear with me a moment. So, our sponsors for today, must always mention because it wouldn't be the league without our sponsors and partners. So, first up is our title sponsor of the league, which is Delta.app. Must make you all aware it's 18s and over. All your investments in one app. Make smart decisions like the world's top investors and track your success with Delta. If you use the command !Delta in the Twitch chat, you'll receive a link and you'll be able to download the app and be able to track all your investments. Next up, it's Next Level Racing. They sponsor the league by providing prizes each season. Like I said, we haven't currently confirmed all the prizes that there will be, but we'll confirm that in the future. Next up is Sim Racing Setups. They provide pro setup bundles for the DLC and offer dry, intermediate, and wet setups, and also provide the 2 dry setups, which are for the safe setups and esports setups. They also provide strategy tips and a track map of where you can use your areas during qualifying. They sponsor the league by providing vouchers for the weekly Driver of the Day winners and the Driver of the Season for who has the most Driver of the Days. You can also use the code OneHub Racing to get 5% off their setups. Next up is Pure Sim Gear, and they sponsor the league by providing sim racing socks and gloves to the driver with the most fastest laps and pulls over the course of the season. You can use code OHR10P to get 10% off all their sim racing socks and gloves. And next up is Vespertine, and they were partnered with Vespertine, so we will support with all our merch that they provide. Some great prizes from Vespertine, so it's worth going to check them out. And last but not least, SimGrid, who it would be very difficult to do the league without, and because they provide all our races, drivers, updates throughout the season, how the standings are going, and the constructors. And that's all our sponsors.
Indeed, well, there's some Gap Reaper is not very happy apparently with Quinn in chat, but of course, in just 7 days' time, we go to Bahrain, and I tell you what, it's hard to not say Mikey's going to be up there, isn't it?
After today's result, I think Mikey will be up there. But I mean, sometimes Spa isn't the best for everyone, and we might see something completely different when it comes to Bahrain. It might be more comfortable for some of the other drivers when it comes to the next race.
Yes, indeed. But don't forget to join Ivor Spin Mike in just a few moments' time. I have to put that in. You kind of have to. For commentary of P2. Hopefully his everything works, because I know his computer had a bit of an issue earlier on. So if not, you might see me again. Hopefully not. But I am going to go and have a little break. Congratulations, by the way, to you, Bonnie, for doing double. Mike saying you get in chat, but thank you for doing P4 and P3.
No problem at all. Couldn't have a first opener without all the tears having a stream. It wouldn't have been good to do. So happy to do it, and yeah, it was fun.
Well, indeed. Well, until next time, I've been Evil. Bonnie's been Bonnie. Ivor Spin Mike is in the chat. Until next time, take care, everyone, and good evening.
Evening, guys.